Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the final day of Proverbs. This is chapter 31. Tomorrow we're going to start in the book of Job. So Job 1, and that's the last book of wisdom that we're going to go through. So I hope you've enjoyed this study of these wisdom books so far, and I know I certainly have. So Proverbs chapter 31. It says, my Bible calls it the words of King Lemuel's mother. Lemuel is actually Solomon. He was called Lemuel by his mother. From my studies, I saw that she did, when he was younger, called him Lemuel. And who is his mother? Well, his mother is Bathsheba. And who is Bathsheba? Bathsheba, of course, is the woman that David committed adultery with. You remember their first child was, the Lord took their first child. But now here Solomon, we know Solomon grew up to be the wisest man alive. So here is some of the things that she taught him. First 9 verses talk about him as a leader. And, so you hear so many people say, hey, well, the Bible doesn't teach us not to drink. The Bible says, hey, a little sip of wine for this and for that. Here, I want you to read verse 4 right here. It is not for kings, O Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine. Okay, and they're talking about alcoholic wine right here. Listen, leaders, remember we're studying about leaders. This is you. It's not up to us to be drinking any sort of wine or any alcohol ever. The Bible teaches us to be sober. And if you have 1 drop of alcohol in your blood, you are no longer sober. Verses 8 and 9 says, open your mouth for the speechless and open your mouth, judge righteously. She's telling leaders, you have to stand up for people who cannot stand up for themselves. This is what God has called us to do. Stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves. And we go on through verses 10 through 31. Talk about a virtuous wife. And guys, I know we take these verses, and we love to say, hey, our wife needs to be like this. And I've seen husbands slam wives with these verses. You need to be like this. Blah, 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 blah. Let me tell you something. Guys, are you like this? Because when you look in the book of Revelation, you see that we are invited to the marriage supper of the Lamb. Well, if the Lamb's getting married, who is he marrying? He's marrying the church. The bride is the church. Well, guess what? That's you. You are a bride. And you, then, need to fit this virtual wife here. Each and every one of us, guys, needs to fit this. We need to be a virtuous wife. We need to be one that Christ brings up to be worth far more than rubies. We need to be the one that fulfills all of this here. We need to do him good and not evil all the days of our lives. We need to be not afraid of snow, which is telling us not to be lazy, go out and work, okay? We need to be the one that raise up good children, and our husband praises us. We need to be the one, guys. Leaders, we need to be the one. Yes, we read this a lot physically. But God is spirit. And we need to apply this spiritually as well. Not just in our physical marriage, but we are the bride in our spiritual marriage. And we, as men, need to fulfill this. Guys, you can do this. God's created us all to be wonderful leaders in our home. Leaders of great marriages, leaders of great children, leaders in our jobs, leaders in the church. He's called us all to be great leaders. He's called us all to a wonderful destiny. And it will be fulfilled if we allow him to shape and mold us into who he created us to be. Have a super blessed day. I'll see you in Job tomorrow.